Now the second question is very interesting. The Dravid and Indo-Aryan languages. Traditionally, the linguists have divided us into 4 language families. Indo-Aryan, Dravidian being the majority, constituting 96% of Indian speakers, and then we have Austroasiatic and Tibeto-Burman, not more than 2% or something. Now, the Dravidian family is very interesting, actually. If you compare the Indo-Aryan languages properties and Dravidian properties, there are many overlaps. Many overlaps, actually. We realize that more when we start building technologies for them. We realize there's a lot of overlap across already. Now, so that makes me wonder. I have recorded that in one of the papers that we came up with Angela Marcantonio in a book called Perspectives on the Origin of Indian Civilization. Genetically, there is no difference. Genetically, no difference. So linguistically also, is there more homogeneous behavior between the two families than really as perceived in the linguistics domain? So my hunch is that maybe there was some Indic family, a Proto-Indic family, which split right across into the north and the south because of the Vindhyas geographically dividing us. So maybe the Indic family split into 2 families, and then the North Indian Indic gave rise to the North Indian Aryan languages, and South Indian Indic gave rise to the 4 Dravidian languages. So to me, that is the possible theory, instead of having the Proto-Indo-European coming to India and all that nonsense. Now, if you study one of the works by Emino, an eminent American linguist who studied 25 years in South India, worked on all Dravidian languages, he has to note in one of his very premier articles, India as a linguistic area. He says that despite being so many language families perceptibly, India behaves like a common linguistic area. So even if you go by Emino's remark in his very famous paper, it looks like India has been behaving because of this so much of mixing, so much of traveling across, and so much of acculturation. Looks like a single common family. And that should probably modern India should promote than the divisive nature of things, which is more political than anything real, actually.
One more question, final question. Do you want to say something?
Yes, of course.
Get a mic.
I don't want to go into my disagreements with Professor Jha. However, the commonalities between all the Indian languages, also the Munda languages, is very largely due precisely to the influence of Sanskrit upon the vernaculars. And in this respect, I would like to say something to an earlier question. You see, many parents fear that their children are wasting their time by learning Sanskrit. Now, even if Sanskrit does not become the Rashtra Bhasha or something, as 49% of the Constituent Assembly wanted, still it is useful to learn Sanskrit. In Australia, they are reintroducing Latin, which is more or less the same thing in European languages as Sanskrit is for Indian languages. Now, you see, earlier it was phased out because it was deemed useless. Now, they did a test. You see, one group of pupils was given English for 8 hours. Another group was given 4 hours of English, 4 hours of Latin. Now, that second group, at the end of the course, did not only know Latin while the others did not, they also knew English better. And so, similarly, learning Sanskrit is simply very useful for your Hindi or whichever language.